Well, good afternoon, sports fans. The old Specter is back in the air after having gone in pretty heavy after running out of battery from a long-range mission. It's carrying a few more bamboo skewers than it used to and a shitload of glue, but it's not doing too badly. I've taken the opportunity to recalibrate the big AO autopilot, and I've replenished my stocks of 5.2 amp hour batteries, so the balance is a lot better and it's flying better than it has in some time. So for this flight, it was a pretty lousy day, covered in clouds. I just had a trimming exercise where I sorted out the trims and the gains on the stabilizer, but basically just decided I'll head up and see how low the clouds are. They look pretty low, fairly heavy. There's a little bit of wind coming from the right, not a great deal, but just enough to make it comfortable to launch into. And the launch goes fairly well, which is always good after you've repaired a plane. It didn't take that much trimming, but as I said, this flight's been trimmed out, so basically I just get it in the air, test the return to home and the stabilise mode, and then I start gaining some altitude for a look at the clouds. It actually looks quite clear to the east, but from where I'm looking out to the west, as you can see, it's quite heavy and actually quite dark on the camera. So I've climbed out and I'm expecting to hit the clouds probably at 300-400 metres, but here I am at 500 metres of altitude and still haven't hit them. So I just keep on going and figure that they can't be much higher. So the plane's flying a lot more speedily than it has in the past now that I've calibrated the autopilot. So I spot these clouds that are a bit lower just towards the other side of the valley, and I figure they don't look too far away, so I might just settle for flying through those. So as you can see, I'm about 300 metres from home. I'm up at almost 700 metres. So the main body of cloud is at least 900, I'd say. So I'm flying towards it and it just doesn't seem to be getting much closer, which surprises me a fair bit. But plenty of voltage left in the battery, so I decide I'll keep on going. So we're at just over 1.5 kilometres away from them now. The plane's flying nice and level, straight towards it. The wind's coming from the side and doesn't seem to be knocking it around much, so I'm pretty happy with the way it's all going. So I think we're coming up on about 3 kilometres here. No, 2 kilometres. And yeah, still not in amongst them, so they obviously are a lot further away than they looked. But as I said, battery was still going strong, so I keep on going. It's actually getting a bit dark on the screen. I'm not real sure where the top of that mountain is, so I actually gain a little bit of altitude before hitting the clouds. I think I'll take it up to about 700 metres. But yeah, just coming into them now. So yeah, just coming into 3 kilometres. As you can see from the on-screen display, it's quite dark. Maybe its footage is a lot better. So I'm just sort of weaving my way in between. I'm not overly keen on getting the plane wet or the camera lens wet at this stage. It's a brand new Mobius, the last one, of which I had for about 2 weeks, didn't survive the crash. So I'm actually enjoying this. I'm finding it quite relaxing for a change. My normal flights where I'm worried about getting back home aren't in my mind at the moment. Everything's going very smoothly. So it looks like I'm getting to the end of it, and I start thinking about heading for home. And I think about here, I slip it into return to home. There it goes. And it lines straight up on home, which is great. And I'm at just around 650 metres with 2.5 kilometres to go. And I think, well, I might as well fly it down to a lower altitude rather than strain my neck trying to look up at it when it comes home. So I just cut the throttle back and drop the nose down, and she comes down nice as pie. So that's the farmer's residence on the right there. A couple of sheds and a swimming pool I think he's got. I think I'll level off at about 100 metres. And just set up for a landing. So this is the farmer's access road, which is a handy landmark for me. That tree at the end is quite distinctive and easy to spot. So I normally come down and hang a left just before that, which is lines me up on the strip. And she comes in nice and easy and straight, which is always nice when you're landing it off the goggles. I did come in a little bit more steeply than I would have liked, but you can't have everything. So there we are, down and safe and in one piece. What a miracle.